face and he makes me scream. He's my number one daddy, gonna make him cream inside of me. Just keep riding me.
Frostbomb is one of the longer lasting meta builds on Ascension and reigns supreme as a hardcaster in 1v1 arenas. I'd say only second to Shadow Visions, it is one of the most reliable caster specializations to play in order to climb the 1v1 ladder, as you have the tools to deal with a variety of archetypes fairly well. I play Frostbomb rather defensive and rely on resets, CC setups and trading favorably in order to slowly win the game. There is no real rotation, especially in PvP, as it all depends on the situation. For the most damage you are able to do, just keep the following in mind. Your Frostbomb and Cone of Cold reduce the cast time of your next two Frostbolts. Each Frostbolt and Cone of Cold on a target affected by your Frostbomb will take extra damage and deal AoE damage around them. So in your burst window, try to fit in as many Frostbolts as you can, whilst your target is affected by your Frostbomb. To play well, you need to understand that this is not a spamming DPS build. You are reliant on kiting your enemies, refreshing your ice barrier and trading damage whenever you take the least amount of damage as possible in return. For macros, these are the ones that I use. I definitely recommend playing with a focus target and setting up hotkeys to interrupt and CC your focus target. This becomes much more important in 2v2, 3 vs 3 and rated battlegrounds. What do I mean by trading damage? In the following clip you can see SSJ using his offensive damage cooldowns, and instead of trading damage with him and casting damaging spells myself, I just run away, CC him and line of sight some of his casts, whilst using healing spells and ice barrier to sustain myself. Then I apply Frostbomb while he is CC'd and start my damage routine. If you get interrupted in your Frost School, try to immediately cast healing spells or avoid the damage altogether, as to at least get some value. While situational, it is advised to keep your ice block for the enemy's big cooldowns, except when you can kite them out anyway. Use rank 1 Frostbolts to chase enemies or keep them slowed and support your teammates. Use Blizzard to get people out of stealth from afar. Think about your position if your enemy has a stun. If you get stunned and your character is facing a wall, you will not create any distance with your blink spell. You can use Intimidating Shout while silenced, and Intimidating Shout does not work on Cloak of Shadows. Your Frostbolt doesn't deal damage immediately depending on travel distance. This means that after you have finished its cast, you can reposition behind a pillar whenever your Frostbolt breaks your CC and the enemy cannot get close to you. Icy Veins is not just an offensive cooldown. It makes you immune to silence for 4 seconds, which, if well timed, can cost the enemy a big cooldown. But it also helps you to get off a fast Repentance, Hypnosis, any other CCs or even heals. You don't need to stay in Ice Block for the full duration. The Cancel Aura I shared before is necessary for the Water Elemental to stop casting. If you just use /pet passive, it will not stop the cast and can potentially break your CC. Speaking of Water Elemental, the Water Bolt of your pet has a travel time, and I have lost some games because I CC'd before the Water Bolt of my pet hit the target, and then it broke my CC. So have your pet on a tight leash. Before using Cold Snap, you can sometimes wait for some of your spells to come off cooldown and use them twice in a row, like using Ice Barrier and Icy Beans right before you Cold Snap. Timed well, your pet Frost Nova and Deep Freeze casts can put the enemy's gap closes like Charge on cooldown without them actually getting into your melee range. If you got any other questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to have fun and peace out.